Hi everyone and welcome back. It's time for the second card, and for this card we'll be using again base of crumb cake cardstock. Then we have embossed layer of again crumb cake cardstock, and then we have piece of whisper white and rich raspberry. And for this card we'll be using the Sweetbriar Rose stamp. So here's my stamp, and then we have some accents. You'll find in your packet a little vintage button and some twine. So what we'll do is, before we start, take your dark rich raspberry marker and we'll color the button. And turn it on the other side, do the same. So there we have that, and then take your white twine, and again, actually you don't need to do it with the darkest one because this will be really dark. I'll do it with the lightest, the light rich raspberry. So just, you don't need the whole length, that tune your packet just a little bit so you can tie a knot. Thread it through the button and tie a knot by bow. So okay, there's our, so we'll put those aside for now and we'll move on to our card. So I have here the piece of whisper white cardstock. Let me see if you can see it here. Okay, and I'll move this out of the way. And then I have the Memento ink pad. Okay, there's my image. So we'll just let this dry for a little bit. In meantime, we can adhere. You can use, excuse me, either side that you prefer. So I'll be using actually this side where the thinner stripes are raised. I think that's actually the back side. So just add some glue, adhesive on the back, and I'll adhere it here. Okay, so we have that. So now this is dry and we can start coloring. I'll start with the lightest color, and again I'll be coloring a couple of petals at a time again. So I'm using the light rich raspberry. Excuse me. And you can notice that I'm not coloring the whole petals. Then I'll go to the darkest one. Add just a little tiny bit. I don't want to be really dark. And then blend it in with the medium one. And then go back with the lightest one and blend the whole thing. And then we'll move to the other petals. And I'm doing exactly the same thing. First the lightest, then the darkest, then the medium, and then blend everything with the lightest, the light rich raspberry. So we have that one. Now we can move to this one. So this one, because it's a smaller one, I'll color all the petals first. Then I'll go with the darkest. Well, actually it's dark. And then with the medium one. So if you notice, I leave the markers open so I don't waste time of opening and closing them, so I can work faster, and that way I can blend the colors before they start drying. Okay, and then we have the last one. I'm doing exactly the same thing, starting with the lightest, then the light, then the dark, medium, and again back to the light. I'm going back with the light. And there are 2 more petals left. And then we'll move to the leaves. Well, first the center of the flowers. Again, I'll be using the Daffodil Delight, but you can use any color you want. And then I'm moving with the lightest. Okay, now I'm gonna close my markers so they don't dry. I'll fill in the centers with the light Daffodil Delight, and then I'll add some of the dark Daffodil Delight. Okay, so we have now our flowers colored, and now we'll go to the leaves and we'll pretty much do the same thing. We'll just color a bunch of leaves at a time. If you notice here, I'm working with the brush tip because that's the side that I mistakenly opened. But when we blend it later, I'll be working with the bullet point. So now I'm adding the darkest, just a little tiny bit. And then the medium. I keep opening it at the wrong side. I'm gonna blend it in. And then I'll go back with the lightest and blend everything in. Okay, then we'll go to the rest of the leaves in the bottom here. And we're doing basically the same. Just adding a little bit of dark and then blending it in with the medium. And then blend everything in with the lightest, well, with the light. So then we'll move to the top and we'll color those all at once because those are tiny. Then I'll go with the dark. And then with the medium. And then we'll go back with the lightest one. Okay, so there we have that. And next we need to close our markers. Then we have our button and our twine. Just thread the twine. Through the button. Then you can tie a bow or not, whichever you prefer. And then you will need a glue dot in order to adhere it to your card. Excuse me. Oops. So we'll cut this here and here. It will come right here. And let me just get my glue dots. So, okay, there we have that. And then we'll adhere it to the rich raspberry layer. And then using dimensionals, we'll adhere it to the card base. One, two, three, four, and I guess I want it to be 6, not 5. Okay, so we have here, and then we can adhere it to our card base. And we're done with the second card. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video with where we're gonna do the next card.